You know, right in the heart of Buenos Aires, a city of millions, there's this sprawling, wild paradise that was born from, of all things, a colossal failure. This is the amazing story of the Costanera Sur Ecological Reserve, an accidental Eden that was never even supposed to be here.
I mean, just look at this incredible contrast. On one side, you've got the sleek, modern skyscrapers of Puerto Madero. And on the other, literally separated by just a road, is this lush, untamed wilderness. And we're not talking about some park on the outskirts. This is like a jungle thriving right in the middle of the city. And the scale of it is just staggering. We're talking 350 hectares. That's 865 acres. It's the city's largest green lung, this huge expanse of nature that's literally pushing back against the concrete. So that brings us to the big question, right? How on earth did this happen? In a city where every square foot of real estate is gold, how did this prime riverfront land somehow escape development and turn into a wild sanctuary? Well, the answer is just fascinating because this was never planned, not one single part of it. The Costanera Sur is a true accidental Eden, and it was born from a project that failed, well, spectacularly. So the story starts back in the 1970s. The plan was super ambitious. They were going to build a whole new administrative center for the city on land reclaimed from the river, using rubble from highways they were tearing down. But then by 1984, the economy and politics went sideways and everything just stopped. The project was completely abandoned. The land was just left there. And that's when the real magic started to happen. To actually create this new land, they used a Dutch engineering method called a polder system. Basically, you build these big embankments out into the water, in this case the Rio de la Plata, and then you drain the area inside. So what that means is this entire 350-hectare reserve is sitting on what used to be the riverbed itself. And this just perfectly captures the whole theme. The second the humans walked away, seeds and sediments from the river started washing back in, and incredibly fast, plants started growing, animals showed up, and this whole complex ecosystem just built itself with astonishing speed. It just shows you how resilient and opportunistic nature really is. So, what happens when you just abandon a giant piece of reclaimed land right next to a river? Well, it turns out you get an absolute explosion of life. The reserve didn't just survive, it completely transformed into a paradise for wildlife. The reserve has become an international hotspot for birdwatching. Seriously, over 300 species have been spotted here. Everything from tiny iridescent hummingbirds like this glittering-bellied emerald to these huge, majestic herons and hawks. All of them are thriving just a stone's throw from downtown. And it is definitely not just birds. If you take a walk along the paths, you're almost guaranteed to see one of these guys, the Argentine black and white tegu. They're these big, impressive lizards, and they're a super common sight, just basking in the sun, totally at home in their own urban wilderness. And the lagoons and wetlands inside the reserve, they are just teeming with life. They provide the perfect habitat for mammals like the coipu. These are large, semi-aquatic rodents, and they pretty much spend their days swimming and feeding in the calm waters, completely safe from all the chaos of the city right next door. But okay, this might be the most powerful story of them all. The reserve is also a critical habitat for insects, including this one, the Argentine flag butterfly. Now, this species was thought to be completely extinct, like gone forever. And then in 2016, it was rediscovered, right here. It's a living, breathing symbol of the incredible power of just letting nature come back. So when you add it all up, all the birds, the mammals, the reptiles, the insects, the plants, the result is just astounding. More than 2,000 different species have been documented living inside these 350 hectares. And to put that into perspective for you, that includes over 300 species of birds, more than 500 different types of plants, and at least 19 species of mammals. And all of this incredible biodiversity is supported by this rich tapestry of different habitats, everything from grasslands and marshes to dense forests and these really serene lagoons. But you know, this story isn't only about wildlife. It's also about the really profound connection that's formed between this accidental wilderness and the people of Buenos Aires. I mean, imagine this. You can step off a busy city street and then just minutes later, you're walking down one of these peaceful, winding paths. There are over 10 kilometers of trails that let you completely lose yourself in nature, and the city skyline is just this faint silhouette way off in the distance. So it's become a sanctuary for people, too. Every week, thousands of locals and tourists come here to walk, to run, to cycle. It's a total haven for bird watchers and photographers, and it's the perfect spot for a family picnic or even just a quiet escape from the urban grind. And this isn't just some beloved local park. Its ecological importance has been recognized way beyond Argentina's borders. It's now considered one of the most important urban nature reserves in all of Latin America. Back in 2005, its global importance really became official. It was designated a Ramsar site, which is a title that's reserved only for the world's most critical wetlands. And in that same year, it was also named an important bird area, or IBA, highlighting just how vital it is for protecting bird populations, especially migratory ones. And really, beyond all the science and the statistics, it's just a profoundly beautiful and peaceful place. It offers some of the best, most natural views of the huge Rio de la Plata. And it's this great reminder of the powerful landscape that was here long, long before the city ever was. And that kind of brings us to a final thought. The Costanera Sur was an accident, a beautiful, wild mistake. And it really makes you wonder, as our cities keep growing bigger and bigger, how can we be more intentional about leaving room for nature? How can we make more space for the wild to come in and surprise us?